So one day I got an email. Someone was looking for my help with a delivery. When I called them, I found out it was a boat that I knew about. A Pahi 63 that had been built in Queenstown, and it had spent its life so far in this lake in the mountains. Now, in my opinion, that is a very strange place to have a 63-foot catamaran. It had been transported to Dunedin, put back together, and then they sailed it to Akaroa. They had had an extremely rough passage and some big problems such as losing a couple of hatch covers and not being able to get the sails down. I was pretty curious what this boat would be like to sail, and since it had survived the trip, I decided this was an offer I should accept. So we got a crew together and made our way to Akaroa. The main trick for a passage like this is to wait patiently for a good weather window. There's just no substitute for good weather. There were a few last minute repairs, practice getting the sails up and down, and then departed. We actually left in the dark. I didn't mention it to anyone on the crew at the time, but it wasn't just Friday, but it was Friday the 13th. However, that gave us a good head start, and the next morning was calm and clear. This afternoon is the first day. It's been very light wind, but we've been going like 5 to 6, sometimes 7 knots all day. I didn't get much sleep last night. There were like sail changes to do, and hopefully tonight is a lot smoother. The rest of that day and night was pretty slow progress.
To the South Island and is expected to reach the lower North Island late in the day. Forecast issued at 1:06.
Try and tighten the side stick here because like, look at this. It's not meant to be doing that. Yeah, that's a lot of movement. With the ratchet strap, we took the tension off the lee side, and that allowed us to get the rigging a bit tighter. And also modified the output brackets so that we could pull them up as high as possible. By Sunday we were still struggling to get even with Kaikoura, but then finally the wind came and we made a really good run north. Once we have 15 to 20 knots on the beam, we can go 8 to 10 knots easy. Sometimes getting up to 12 gets a bit stronger and we don't reef. We nearly hit a 200-mile day, and very soon we were out of the roaring 40s and into the thirsty 30s. It was definitely still winter, but it was noticeably warmer. I'll just film the aftermath at least.
When we were pulling the sail down, those that came out and said, there's more food. So if you want it, there's more.
God bless her. It was looking like we were going to get headwinds in the Bay of Plenty, but it looked like we'd better get into Tolaga Bay by nightfall. The fuel line's dragging in the water. This is quite a remote part of New Zealand, and I never actually stopped there before. Those arches are good.
Really good, eh?
It was remarkably sheltered in there. We took this opportunity to do a better job tightening the rigging.
If you don't know how to tie a knot, make a lot. That one.
And then we made a trip into town. A bit of swell rolls into the bay, so there's a bit much surf for landing in the dinghy. But there's a long wharf, actually the longest in New Zealand, and it has a ladder you can climb up. This cat was extremely friendly, and so were the people.
Oh, yep. Here's the old Here's the old crew in Tolaga Bay tab, we'll call it. Uawa. Uawa. Have a look at the fish and chips. I mean, fuck me dead if I'm a Christian, but this is good.
Falling apart. It is. Open your mouth, open your mouth!
How is it?
I only know English, but fuck, if I knew more languages, I would say it's beautiful in all of them.
Oh, you're lucky you're here on Wednesday because the sun says no bumpers.
I've broken all the rules.
The next morning was calm, so I took the opportunity to do a job up the mast. One of the halyards had gone round the block badly and was making too much friction.
Yeah, you complete that.
Also added some mousing to a few shackles that didn't have it. We removed the lazy jacks, which were causing more problems than help. When you're going up the mast, especially one as tall as this one, it's important to take a moment to admire the view. We also went for a little explore in the dinghy. This is Cook's Cove, one of the very few spots in this area that has easterly shelter. We had also been invited to attend the local Matariki celebrations. This is the traditional Maori New Year and has also recently become a national holiday.
Tifa te pō, tifa te ao. Nā rangi tū koe, nā rangi roa, nā tāne rawa koe. Nā te āpārangi hihi, nā te āpārangi irarapa. Tukua ki whare rangi, te ngahuru mai rangi, ti he mauri ora. Ti he mauri ora ki a tātou. Kua tai manu moata nei tēnei ata, tēnā tātou. Tēnā tātou e whakamānawa nei a Matariki. Kua mahuta nei te pai, te whakanui. Ia, o tira ia, tēnei te tauhau e haere ake nei.
I was also in the right place in time to see one of the local fishing boats land on the beach. We were planning to continue on tomorrow, so this was the last chance to tighten the main lashings. We did this by hammering wooden wedges, which had the great advantage of being able to do it from on deck. I also thought it would be a good idea to have a safety string so that they couldn't slip out. The next morning we left at first light.
Okay, well, how does our new roster system work?
Alright, so we have 6 watches, 2-hour-long watches. That makes a 12-hour cycle, which means that each person will be doing the same shift every day. There are certain coveted slots such as sunrise and sunset. So it starts off normal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But then for the next one, we do exactly the same thing, but we take whoever was first and put them at the end. And so we start with 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. Over here it's been expanded and had the names filled in. So we've got 3 days and we can see the coveted sunrise set. Mel gets to do this tomorrow, very lucky. And then Gunnar gets to bring us home with the final coveted sunrise set, which is quite fitting being that this is in fact his boat.
And Will gets the midnight set and then gets an entire day off until 10.
So big. Yeah, so we're gonna open source this algorithm so that other 6 crew boats can use it in the future.
That afternoon we rounded East Cape. This is a big milestone because now we're officially in the north, in the easy cruising area that's protected from the southerly onslaughts. But before things got too easy, I thought I'd get a selfie stick shot. So the whole way since this boat had been in Dunedin, there's been half a coconut sitting on the starboard bow. It had a small weight under it, but there was literally nothing naturally holding it down. We were pretty amazed that it was still there, but it turns out that was because we hadn't done much downwind surfing yet.
Yeah, it's a tragedy. We just lost the coconut. We're just gonna have to go to Fiji and get another one, I guess.
I think so.
Yeah, it's really the only option. It was surfing into a wave.
Yeah, it would have got pretty smushed.
Yeah.
But I think it was a good omen to know that the coconut made it all the way to East Cape. We got across the entire Bay of Plenty that night, and by the morning we were approaching Colville Channel. Here we got headwinds, and we were so close to one of the best anchorages in the Hurricane Gulf. It wasn't a hard choice. We trimmed the sails to make as well to windward as possible, and then we sailed into Port Fitzroy and stopped at Smokehouse Bay. I'm not going to explain what's great about Smokehouse Bay. If you know, you know. We relaxed there a couple of days. This was late June, but compared to what we'd been through, it felt like the winter was over. When a fair wind arrived, we continued to Whangarei, and we caught an 86 centimetre kingfish on the way.
Oh yeah.
Grab its tail. Grab its tail.
Yeah, grab its tail.
Grab its tail. You grab its tail, you'll end up with a hook in your fucking head.
Once you get a decent breeze, this boat goes 8 to 10 knots easy. So Great Barrier to Whangarei, including going up the harbour, was just an easy day sail. Soon we were motoring up the river getting ready to drop anchor. Great job everyone, we made it. Akaroa to Whangarei in winter time with fair winds and pretty good weather the whole time. A big thank you for all the crew that made this trip possible, and thank you for watching this video. Please post a comment and stay tuned for the next adventure.